Another year, another Pixel Fold. We have the 9 Pro Fold, the 10 Pro Fold, and now here we go, the 11 Pro Fold. Looking all, quite similar. In this video, what we're going to be doing is unboxing the thing and just kind of giving some early first impressions about the Pixel 11 Pro Fold. Here is the device itself. We're going to set it aside for just a moment to see what else is in the box. And as you can see, not much else is in the box. We have a USB-C cable. We have some documentation here. Is there a SIM removal tool in this? There is. There is a SIM removal tool because luckily we do still have a SIM tray on this device. They haven't taken that from us yet, but otherwise that's going to be it. Here is the device itself. Let's kind of unwrap this thing and get our first look at the device. The new camera bump, which does look slightly different. You can see how it compares to the last gen model. Very, very subtle difference. We do have sort of a bump on a bump thing going on now. And of course, the camera sort of extends to the edge. We do also have a new feature here. This is not just an LED flash. It's basically RGB. It's going to be able to do maybe some interesting things. I don't know. We'll see. Here's that inner screen looking as creaseless as it is ever going to look. We'll go ahead and fold the thing over, and it will never look that good ever again. Next to my 9 Pro Fold, which was the same sort of color, you can see that there's not a ton of difference between these two. Some very subtle differences, not too much. And again, next to the 10 Pro Fold, yeah, again, not a whole lot of a difference. This device is supposed to be a little bit thinner, but we are talking a little bit. In terms of weight, it is definitely a little bit lighter. We can kind of do some quick history here. Both of these devices are listed as weighing around 260 grams, but you guys know that in real life, sometimes that's not what happens. It's 266 here, screen protector. Anything's going to add some grammage to it. Here is the 10 Pro Fold. It's weighing in at 269 grams. And here is the brand new 11 Pro Fold with no screen protector, and it's weighing 239 grams. So that is, a pretty decent little weight reduction. Now, obviously, that's not enough of a weight reduction to get it into the same territory as something like the Galaxy Z Fold 8, which weighs under 230 grams with this aramid fiber case installed on it, but it does bring it into the range of something like the Moto Razr Fold. I think that we've gone from a situation where we might be like, why is it that heavy? Why is it so heavy? To being like, all right, it's a little heavy, but it's passable. So as this setup process continues, I'm pulling my data over from the Pixel 10 Pro Fold. We can take a look at the hardware a bit more closely, kind of go around the device. So looking down, we have a speaker on the left-hand side, but it's really quite close to the center. I would love for that speaker to be further over here so we could get a bit more stereo separation. Something that's really quite odd about this device is that this side is ever so slightly thicker, and you can absolutely feel that. It's not super easy to spot. Maybe it is. Maybe you're looking at this and you're saying, Shane, that's very easy to spot. But like in person, yeah, you can see it and you can definitely feel it. It's kind of odd. I'm not really sure what to make of that. At first, I thought maybe it was thicker on one side because they still have the MagSafe Pixel Snap, whatever they're calling it, is still built into this device, and that's quite cool. But it's the screen side that's actually thicker, so that can't be that can't be what it is. Kind of odd. If we go around the device this way, we have our power button and our power button fingerprint scanner and the volume rocker there. And if we continue going, we have another speaker, which is also quite close in. Again, I would love for it to be maybe on this other side for more stereo separation. It is set up such that you have a speaker here and a speaker here, but they're both quite close to the center. So that's a complaint that I'm going to have. Most people probably aren't going to care. And then the SIM tray is on the bottom. So Google has continued working on the hinge of these devices, and they've made some clear progress. If you go back to the first gen Pixel Fold, that hinge feels, by today's standards, absolutely terrible. By the time they got to the 10, I think that they had kind of arrived to a pretty good place. This is apparently a gearless hinge. It's based on cams. And what I really like about it is that it feels like it's the same resistance all the way through. And it does tend to open pretty much completely flat. I think that's a pretty solid feeling hinge. With the 11 Pro Fold, It's a little bit different, actually, because it feels like the resistance changes depending on where you are in the opening process. So right here to like here, it's quite a bit of resistance, and then it kind of eases up, and then there's more resistance again, and then like quite a bit of resistance, and then it kind of snaps open the rest of the way. It's opening flat. We're not going to know if that's going to change for at least a little while. That kind of seems to be something that happens as the device gets broken in. I suspect it'll probably be fine or close enough to fine to not matter. But I do just want to point out that the Hinge does feel quite different than the 10 Pro Fold. Maybe they're kind of leaning into this like snapping open thing that a lot of foldables are doing. I do still think that the Z Fold 8 Hinge might be my favorite Hinge I've seen so far. It has a very consistent feel as well, but when it gets to the end, it really does just snap open. It feels quite satisfying. You can't really use it in like that laptop mode. It kind of wants to go over, and that's something that Google has definitely preserved here. And maybe that's why there's more resistance. From like here to like here, it gets really stiff. So maybe that's them thinking about laptop mode. I don't know how important that is to people, but maybe that's what's going on. Regardless, the Hinge does feel different than last year. So we looked at this camera setup very briefly earlier, and there is at least one pretty decent upgrade here. I've complained for a while that Google is just using sensors that are just too small. And they still mostly are using sensors that are too small, but there is at least an upgrade, okay? So your ultra wide, 1/3.4 inches, that's small. Your telephoto, 10.8 megapixels, 1/3.2 inches, very, very small. But the primary now, 48 megapixels, 1/1.56 inches, 1 micrometer of pixels. That is actually kind of decent. That's about the same, very, very similar to what we have on the Z Fold 8. That should help with detail, with low light. Just a bigger sensor is better. It's going to be able to gather more light because it's physically larger. Obviously, we need to test to what degree that improvement is actually noticeable, but on paper, the camera should be better. And there are quite a few new little software features as well. So now that we're all set up, I guess what I want to do now is look for some of that new stuff. So we did talk about the highlight feature on the back. Let's dig into the settings and see exactly what that does look like. And it is located under System, and it does have its own little section, Highlight. Stay in the moment without losing touch. Highlight uses subtle light and color on the back of your device to inform you of important activity. And so right now, there's just really not much you can do with it. It'll light up when you're talking with Gemini. It'll light up when you're getting phone calls, and there's not much you can really customize. There is an app I've already seen going around. I think you have to sideload it from GitHub. That's going to give you a lot more customization. But for now, this is really all Google is shipping. I do think some more stuff is coming down the line. But for now, that's really about it. I guess I kind of need to test it. So I guess we're going to use Gemini Live. So what I'm going to say is, Gemini, right now, I'm actually testing the new highlight feature on the back of my Pixel 11 Pro Fold.
I've got it. I'll make sure to keep in mind that you're using the Pixel 11 Pro Fold.
I'm going to be honest, it's hard for me to think of a more useless feature than that. I really just do not understand it at all. Why would you put your phone face down and then have a light alert you? Let's say that it's going to light up different colors for different contacts. That would be cool. Maybe they roll that out. But why would it not be better to just have it flipped over? You have it always on display. You can see. I don't understand. I've never understood screens on the back of phones, lights on the back of phones. Just use the screen. I don't get it. But something that I hope I will get is Rambler. So you can see here on Gboard, my microphone icon has the little Gemini AI star on it. And that's because this is now an AI feature. So what this does is it's going to allow basically the already best-in-class Pixel voice typing experience to just get even better. Apparently, you can just sort of talk naturally with pauses and ums and all these sorts of things, and it's going to run it through the LLM and give you this beautiful output. So I am testing Google's new Rambler technology inside Gboard, and I'm just going to talk naturally without, saying punctuation or anything like that. I've already stumbled over a word a little bit. It doesn't matter. I'm just going to continue talking to the end of this sentence. I'm done demoing this, and I'm going to click the check mark. And we're all going to see in real time exactly how good Rambler really is. Is this a game changer? Let's read this really quickly. And I got to tell you guys, that looks pretty freaking great to me. As much as I do not care about that, the highlight light on the back. Rambler it might end up being the killer feature for me on this device. That is fan-tastic. Something else I'm hearing quite a bit about is in the camera app, and it's this thing called looks. So if you hit your little settings down here, you can go into this, and you have these different looks, which are, as you can see here, natural, shadows, vanilla. What does this do? Can I actually, oh, editorial, velvet, classic. Okay, so there's basically a whole bunch of different, it looks like what's happening is it's changing the presets down here. So it's basically like pro mode presets that you can use to get some different styles to your images. You can see as I cycle through these kind of what I'm talking about, and maybe not the best example in the world of this, but you can see how these colors are changing, and I think you can imagine from there. This is not going to be a deep dive into this camera and like what the photographic performance is going to be, but you can see here kind of what the color and tone looks like. I like that, and I actually think that photo looks really pretty cool. So this is something I'm gonna definitely have to dive into. We also have this new magic capture feature. Live the moment. While your camera captures it, just tap start and your Pixel takes a video and the best photos for you. So the idea is you just kind of, start filming with this thing, and you just kind of hold your phone and don't really pay all that close of attention. And it's going to be filming, and it's going to be grabbing still images from that video that you're shooting, so that, instead of having to be the cameraman who can't really like be involved, I guess you can just film and let the phone do some of that stuff for you. We'll have to see how well that works, if I can find a scenario in which that actually makes sense for me. I snapped a couple of photos with my 11 Pro Fold and my 10 Pro Fold. You can see the camera, the phone over here on this right-hand side. And I don't see anything immediately that's like jumping out to me as being all that different. I think that the 11 is a little bit brighter, but in terms of color, in terms of detail, that larger sensor is not giving me a whole lot right now. Maybe this is something that when we get into some lower light, here's the 11, here is the 10. They look pretty much identical. Maybe in lower light, we're going to start to see something. Let's see if maybe in the fine detail, do we see any difference here on the 11 versus the 10? I'm not really seeing anything. Maybe you do. Maybe you can drop a comment down below. Same thing with the telephoto. I know that the telephoto is the same sensor, so it's really all going to be software, but we've seen Google do this before, where the same sensor performs better on the new phone because of better hardware, but I'm really not seeing a significant difference here either. It looks pretty much the same to me, the same amount of readability on this second line of text on this lapel mic. Now, of course, this is the new Tensor G6, and this does have 16 gigabytes of RAM, which is nice, especially for a device that wants to run so much on-device AI. And like all, modern Pixels, really all modern phones in general, the performance is going to be absolutely fine. The animations are going to be nice and smooth. You're really not going to have any issues with this thing. It is a Tensor though, so if you're buying a phone to do like high-end gaming or video rendering, this is probably not going to be the phone for you to use. But in general, normal day-to-day use, even with multitasking, right? Even with grabbing, multiple applications and split screening them and doing things like that, we can do this little 90-10 split thing. It's gonna be more than fast enough for, things like that. One thing that I do definitely want to kind of see, how does this play out? We have a new modem as well. And I do think that the modem they had been using seems to have been quite poor, and that was going to lead to excessive heat, excessive battery drain, especially when you're off Wi-Fi. And over the next week or so, that's something I'm going to be really curious to kind of experience. This phone went from having, with the 10 Pro Fold, a battery that was a little over 5,000 milliamp hours to one that's around 4,800 milliamp hours. With this phone, the battery actually got smaller, but perhaps with a newer Tensor processor and a much improved modem, that's not going to matter. I tend to think that's going to be the case, but again, we're going to find that out over the upcoming week as my sim does go into this device. Of course, there's a lot of content coming, a full review probably in a week or so, but there's going to be a tips and tricks video and probably some other things I'm going to think of between now and then as well. So hit that subscribe button before you go. Let me know in the comments down below, have you gotten your 11 Pro Fold? How are you feeling about it? Maybe you already grabbed the Z Fold 8 and you didn't feel the need to go back to a tall, square inner screen. Again, have that conversation in the comments down below, guys. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for that future content, and until next time, stay nerdy, my friends.